on the side of a former piano factory. There's been plenty of music made on the field here in the decade since it opened back in 1998. Welcome, everyone, to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. Today, our draw features two from the AFC between the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens. On the Patriots sideline, head coach Mike Vrabel. They've been playing some of their best football, winning 8 of their last 10 games. Facing off with them, that is head coach John Harbaugh of the Ravens. His side also occupying playoff position, so might be a rematch we see play out. First snap, and Lamar's going to throw. Right side and into the hands of Bateman. And he's halted after about a 6-yard pickup. Stop made at the 36.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and it creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
Has him on the quick hitter. They stop him at the 39. No first yet, but they've got third and very short coming up. Now, this is a list that hurts a lot more this time of year. They need every one of these guys out there as they fight for a spot in the postseason.
It is all hands on deck the rest of the way, and every guy who's been lost at some point this season, his presence is surely sorely missed out there. Every team's fighting for a playoff spot, Kate. In the same boat at this point, it's a war of attrition. And who's got the ones standing and fighting at the end? Often the ones who make a postseason run.
And now we'll get a pause here. Trainer's headed out to take a look at an injured player. Let's hope it isn't anything that's going to keep him from finishing this season strong. So first down from the 41. Now here's Lamar. The left side is nabbed by Bateman. And they send him out of bounds as he gets this to the opposing 45. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
First down, here's Lamar. Pass into the hands of Mark Andrews. He's got it in the red zone. And he's going to get this down to the 9. That puts him in goal to go.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
Solid opening drive so far, Brock. Few chances to cap it here. This is first and goal. They'll run here with Henry. So much for finishing things on the ground, huh? He is stopped at the line. They're going to have to regroup now on second and goal.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on first down. More to come.
Flushed out of the pocket. He's going to score. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens finish up an excellent opening series. It's a Lamar Jackson touchdown. Quite the drive they put together to begin this game. What stood out to us, how quickly they were operating. They got a lot of plays in a small amount of time on the way to that touchdown.
What do you mean? We feel that tempo in the booth?
Yep. Yep. This drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line.
He's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11 at the 29-yard line.
We're a quarter of the way through on this chilly winter afternoon. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. Back to the bank in just a moment. Back at beginning of the second quarter, Ravens in possession. They have second and pretty long here. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. Buys time, rolling right. Now he takes it.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB talk. You know what it's more like? It's more like an applause. Especially in a situation like that. It's a good thing he woke up to it. Able to make something out of nothing and at least keep him moving forward.
Third and a lone yard coming up. Henry's going to try to pick it up. He's going to get this one into enemy territory to the 47. Pick up 14 yards on that one. And that's going to be a Baltimore first.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down. He got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
Here's first and 10 from the 47. Running once more with Henry. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
Hey, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Play action. Here's Jackson. Headed out right. Oh, look at this. Here he goes. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt, even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
Now Jackson on third down. Rolling left, buying some time. They're going to keep moving forward, Bob, down inside the opposing 30. Early on, it's not his work passing the football we're talking about. It is what he's been able to do as a runner that has displaced Bussett.
Yeah, years ago, Kate, taking what the defense gives you means checking it down, but not anymore. Not with the QBs in today. He's showing you the prowess he has with his legs as well.
On first and 10, it's Jackson. Escapes out to the left. Now here he goes again. And he nearly gets him another first down as they force him out just shy of the marker.
Well, that's an excellent job by the defense. All eyes on the quarterback. When you're playing a quarterback that can escape, well, even though you cover, you still got to cover down and go chase that QB out of bounds before he could get the first down.
This is Henry on second. And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line. This one goes for 3 yards. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you want to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now.
A draw now. This is Henry. He hits the lane perfectly for an 8-yard pickup. It's second down.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Offense is set. This is second and 2. Changing it up here, Jackson. He's got it. And it's another first down on this drive. Man, this time they're into first and goal.
Look up contested catch in the football dictionary, and you'll see that. I mean, I can't critique the defense. They're in the hip pocket of that tight end. But these contested catches, these tight ends that can separate with their hands, utilize their body, even when you're covered, you're not.
Offense in position now. It's first and goal.
180. To what? Middle.
This one's center for Lamar. And he runs it across. Touchdown! The Ravens get some late points and the lead. It's a Lamar Jackson touchdown. They broke out the design run from there. Coach just tells him, hey, Brock, hey, QB, do your thing, get a 6.
Yeah, and these offensive coaches love this play.
Oh, ready? 13.
Henry gets it here to start the drive. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of this. Kyle Duggar holding down.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. Find a more aggressive call on second.
They're just going to play it safe, sticking with the ground game, it looks like. This one nearly moves the chains, but he stopped just shy of that marker. 6-yard pickup brings up third down.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Third down, Pat's going with a few extra defensive backs this time.
180!
All right, I think we know what's happening. They're going to continue running it until this clock runs out. And he stopped on a nice gain on what is the final play of this first half.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Final 3 weeks of the regular season. The regular season witching hour, when playoff teams become also-rans and also-rans become playoff teams. Let's dive in. Our trip around the NFL starts now. We begin at venerable Soldier Field. The Bears at home to take on their NFC North rivals, the Packers. And this is Jaden Reed. He was a tough man to pin down all game long. This, one of his 2 touchdown catches. We go from there to this, the NFC title game rematch from a year ago. Eagles and Commanders, this one in D.C. And this is Devontae Smith. He's going to run a deep route, look it in, and he's gone. 80 yards on the catch and run for the touchdown. One more to show you, and it's out in Seattle, the Seahawks hosting the L.A. Rams. And this is Kenneth Walker III. Spots an opening, capitalizes on it, 15 yards for the touchdown. The Seahawks win their 3rd straight game as they get the victory today. With that, time for a look at the playoff picture. Things starting to come into focus in the NFC here in Week 16. Meanwhile, in our game, a fairly even first half, all things considered. 14-7 is the halftime score as we get you back out to Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
Hey, middle.
Give to Henry on the inside handoff. And this play where he reaches the 35 before he comes to an end. Well, we've talked about this before, Brock. The thinking's simple but effective. We'll stop getting it to this guy when you find a way to stop him, and they have yet to do that today.
You know, there's just certain things up in this booth that I love. I think you could feel it emanating from me. And one of them is when you impose your will, and you don't back away from it. If they can't stop it, run it right at them.
Going to the ground again on first. And they're able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a first down.
They'll come up after that 4-yard gain. It's 2nd and 6. Pistol snap to Jackson. Short pass brought in. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap first down.
First and 10. Here's Jackson. Completed over the middle. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
That is a textbook first down completion. It sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Offensive line. This is 2nd and 4. Lamar back to throw. His pass is complete. That's Zay Flowers. And he's brought down after pushing to that 35-yard line. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's going to be a Baltimore first. Well, that right there is about the best you can hope for against double coverage. Good chunky yards, and more importantly, Brock, you don't get burned taking a risk.
Yeah, it's really the defense that gets burned, and that is just demoralizing. You got double coverage, you got what you want, and 2 guys can't stop one.
All set to go now from the 35. Throwing now on first down. It's Jackson. Right back to Flowers they go. And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot. Give your quarterback a chance.
Lamar throwing again. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Now, this is a list that hurts a lot more this time of year. They need every one of these guys out there as they fight for a spot in the postseason.
It is all hands on deck the rest of the way, and every guy who's been lost at some point this season, his presence is surely sorely missed out there. Every team's fighting for a playoff spot, Kate. In the same boat at this point, it's a war of attrition. And who's got the ones standing and fighting at the end? Often the ones who make a postseason run.
Turning to Henry on third. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
It's a gain of 8. That's good for Baltimore. First down.
You love a huddle? Okay, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
Change it.
On first down, Jackson. And that is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens push their lead further to start the half. Mark Andrews with the touchdown. When you reach the status that he has around the league, Brock, well, we all at this point expect him to be making plays like this when he's targeted down near the end zone.
Yeah, I think the best thing I can say about this dude is he makes it look easy a lot of the time. And this game, trust me, is never easy. It speaks to how well he plays this position.
Flying down the middle with Henry. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, they got a tackle behind the line, but a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. Lamar now from the gun. This one to Andrews out right. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield. It's going to go as a gain of 13 yards. And that's good for a Ravens first down.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Hey.
From the gun, Jackson. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. Looks like he came down on that sideline. 2nd down coming up.
You know, that's one you watch the next day, Kate, and you're just bummed. As a QB, you're a perfectionist. And when it's caught but out of bounds, you know it could have been just a little bit more accurate on your end.
Here's a give for Henry. He's across midfield into Patriots territory. Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8.
49-yard line. A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
They'll throw 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down.
I'm just looking at this hourglass of saying, Kate, and realizing there's not much time left for this team. But the only chance they had was to create a sack right there. Give a little momentum to their offense, who now has no margin for error. You got to go score.
Takes it in at the 21. And he's hit before he can get anything on that return. And Coach Mike Vrabel readying the Patriots for their next series. They passed on the field goal, didn't get it on 4th down. Interested to see what they... On 1st and 10, it's Henry. We'll take this ahead for 7. We've got 2nd and 3 now. Timeout taken by the Patriots. They're 1st to 3. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
At the 19-yard line.
7 yards on that last play, so this is 2nd and 3.
Middle.
Now here's Keaton Mitchell with the run. He's going to be held up after gaining 2, so a little shy of that marker. 3rd down coming up. Now we're going to have a timeout by New England. It's 2nd. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now. Third down, 1 yard to go.
Hey, Ozzy, sit up.
Design run, Jackson keeping it. That's a first down for the Ravens, partner. That should all but do it here. Now the Patriots calling their 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now.
27-yard line.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. This one left for Lamar. So in front of the flock of fans in the stands, the Ravens get the win at home. Man, they were facing a top-on defense this week, Bronk, but they made them look anything but. What a great performance to get this win.
Yeah, you can come in, Kate, with this awe and mystique of, gosh, we're facing one of the best defenses in the league, but as soon as you get those first points, you realize, you know what? They're mortal just like the rest of us, and they took the fight right to them.
That does it for another broadcast of the NFL on EA Sports. With my partner in the booth, Brock Hewitt, I'm Kate Scott. The Ravens are your winners as we say so long from Baltimore.
The finish line is in sight. Hi everyone, Scott Hansen here, and this is your weekly recap for Week 16. Plenty to get to. Let's start in Baltimore. The Ravens at home to take on the New England Patriots. And it's the two-time MVP, Lamar Jackson. Part of a big game for him, 3 total touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 passing. The Ravens get the W by 2 touchdowns. From there, we go to Indianapolis. We'll check in on the Colts as they play host to the San Francisco 49ers. And this is Brandon Ayuk. He's so good working down the field, hauls this one in stride. A 55-yard touchdown. The Niners run their winning streak to 5 straight as they get another W. Lastly, let's get down to Miami, the Dolphins hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. And this is Samaje Perine. A scintillating run for the touchdown. The Bengals win it by a count of 24-13. So that'll do it for us as we look forward to what should be a fantastic final 2 weeks of the regular season. I'm Scott Hansen. Happy holidays from all of us at EA Sports.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, yeah. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. VIP coming live from the VIP.